Keen Nation, what's going on, man? It's your boy Emmanuel Keen, and tonight we are going to be teaching you guys, not we, I don't know what, I guess I am a whole squad by myself, me, myself, and I move like a team, bro. I do so many things, I wear so many hats, I'm multifaceted. Tonight we are going to be teaching you guys, I said we again, we're going to be teaching you guys how to properly EQ when mastering. I've seen a lot of videos. When I first started mastering, I had no idea what to do. I really had no idea what to do. So I went online and I, just like somebody that don't know what to do, I went online, looked at tutorials to find out what to do. I am now in a professional mastering class, okay? And I am on the road to becoming a professional mastering engineer. For those who don't know, you don't know because I haven't told y'all. But I am on the road to becoming a professional mastering engineer. Now, when I complete this course, I will make an announcement and, I'll do all of that. But I say all of that to say I know how to properly master now. Well, I'm three-fourths of the way done with the class. So I'm 75% equipped to properly master professionally, right? So I want to teach you guys how to EQ the right way, because I've seen videos and they don't necessarily know how to do it. Now, granted, I haven't watched videos as of late, okay? So you might have very well found this on another video, but I want to be the one to show y'all if y'all haven't seen it yet, okay? I don't watch any other tutorials in terms of this situation because I want to teach y'all my own way on how to do it. So that's exactly what we finna do, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Fade that like button so we a movement, boy. Let's get it. Alright, Key Nation. Welcome to what I got here, okay? We got the song Party's Over by Sandy Joe. If you guys want to check that out, please do. I'll put the link in the description. This is a song that I mixed, I want to say a cool 3 to 4 years ago. It's been a minute, but I like it. So we're gonna show y'all exactly what we doing today when it comes down to EQing and mastering. So firstly, let me explain something to you guys. These are some things that they do not tell you when it comes down to EQing. There's a specific reason why when you master, it doesn't sound like the professionals. And the reason why is because there's a specific algorithm or formula that professional mastering engineers actually apply whenever they start to EQ. And that is the smiley face, okay? The smiley face. Now, what is that, Keen? The smiley face is the boost and enhancement of low frequencies and the boost and enhancement of higher frequencies. Thus, you get a smiley face when it actually comes down to the frequency response curve. Now, I don't know where this rule of thumb came from, but that is the general rule of thumb whenever it comes down to mastering, and that subconsciously triggers something in somebody's mind to say, hey, this sounds really, really good, as opposed to other people who master. I don't know who else teaches y'all how to master on YouTube, but I'm teaching y'all today. And that is the exact reason, man. So, but before you get to the smiley face, you have to make sure that you have a balanced mix when it comes down to the frequency curve, which is the reason why you see the PAZ analyzer right here. It's by Waves. This is a good indicator to show if the mix is balanced or not. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. Let's play it. Oh, I just got to make sure that my monitors ain't going, because if my monitors are going, okay, cool. All right, let's play it.
When the party's over, can I count on you? Would you have my back? Can I count on you? Would you?
So if you guys see this PAZ analyzer here and where the frequency where the frequency response curve is actually picking up, you can see that it, for the most part, is a balanced mix. You don't really have any slopes that's kind of curving down towards 8K to 16K. In the back, you don't really have any slope. So this is actually a well-balanced mix from where I start right now. This is a dynamic song because you have, of course, peaks that you can clearly see, and that's for transients and compression, but we'll get into that a little bit later once I teach you guys how to do that. But this is a dynamic song. Let's go to actually some of these louder parts and see what we got.
How much later? Baby, took her how much later? When the party's over, can I count on you? Would you, baby? When the party.
Okay, so even in the louder areas, it's still a real balanced mix. Now, the reason why I went to the louder areas is because sometimes whenever you look at the waveform, right, and you see that the mix isn't necessarily, you see that the frequency response curve is flat from where you initially started off, you want to go to the louder parts because that usually has an accumulation of instrumentation amongst the kick, the bass. Is there more drums? Is there pluck here? Is there an arpeggio synth? Is there guitars, whatever, right? And that can sometimes throw off the balanced mix, the overall balanced mix of the actual track. So that's why it's important to kind of go to the louder parts and see, okay, what's going on here. And that way, once you apply the EQ curve, that it doesn't necessarily throw off anything in the holistic manner of the master, right? So that's exactly what that is. Went to the louder parts, and for the most part, it is a balanced mix. Now, of course, right here, as you can see within the lower parts, I'm pretty sure that there's no drums here. Let's hear it. Okay, see? So there's no drums here, right? You just have basically a mid and a high frequency range right there, so you don't have to worry about that. But essentially, that's what it is, man. And so let me tell you guys, when it comes down to actually EQing the master, you can do it with any type of plugin. Okay, you can use it with a stock plugin. Okay, you can use Pultec plugins from Waves. You can use Pultec plugins from Universal Audio. Whatever you'd like to use, you can use any plugin in order to master. Right, the main thing that we want to try to the main thing that we want to try to aim for in terms of mastering is, first we want to do surgical and we want to fix it first, right? As far as what we've got here, there's not really much to fix because for the most part, we already have a balanced mix. Also, something that you have to take into consideration is that this is an R&B song, so we know that it's going to be very heavy in the low end. Usually R&B songs have 808s, they have kick, they have something, they have a presence in the low end. So we know that that's kind of what we want to aim for, and that's pretty much what we have. As far as a modern R&B song goes, right? So we know that that's what we're aiming for in terms of the EQ curve. Now, if you had jazz or something like that, that's like the frowny face, which is something that probably shouldn't have even been mentioned, but I mentioned it anyway. But so yeah, that's what we're aiming for. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to master this. I'm going to EQ this with literally just a stock plugin, bro. You don't need. That's one of the main things I want to reiterate to you guys. You do not need a plugin that costs $200, $300, $400, bro. You don't need it. Okay? You do not need that. All you need is a plugin that comes with your software. Okay? And if you don't have any plugins that come with your software, you can go get some for the free ski. So, anyways, let me show y'all, man. Here is what we've got. We've got the plugin right here. Now, as you guys can see and as you guys can hear, and to my ear, there wasn't anything that was necessarily popping out. Maybe some of the high mid frequencies could have used a little bit of boosting if we want to come down to surgical or fixing, right? Because when we go over it, let's look over here. Let's come back to our PAZ analyzer and let's look at it.
When the party's over, can I count
around 2K, 4K. You see that?
you have my
There's like a slight dip, right? There's a slight dip. So, we can fix that, right? With this EQ here. So let's go ahead and do that, and I will go into why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it.
back. Can I count on you? Would you? Maybe stick around much later. Maybe stick around much later.
Okay, so this is literally all that I'm doing in terms of EQing the master. Now, King, you didn't boost it 6 decibels. You didn't boost it 10 decibels. Why didn't you boost it that high? I'm gonna tell you, as somebody that masters, you do not want to go anywhere past 6 decibels, 7 decibels, because whoever mixed that, right? Whoever the mixing engineer is, whoever made the beat, they're gonna be like, bruh, what's going on here? Why does this sound so different? I feel like you're altering my mix. I feel like you're trying to change the sound of my mix. And as a mastering engineer, that's not what you want to do. You want to make subtle changes to fix something. The very most that you're allowed to do is 6 decibels. Don't boost past 6 decibels. Okay, you might need to. You might get some masters, some waves, some waveforms that are, you know, extremely lacking in the high end, extremely lacking in the low end, and you might have to do something like this. You know what I'm saying? In order for it to sound cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have to do something like that, but you don't want to do that, okay, bro? You do not want to do that. And or lady, or whatever you might identify yourself as, if you do identify yourself as that, but you don't want to do that, okay? The very most that you want to do in terms of boosting is 6 decibels, okay? You don't want to go anywhere over that, because if you do, I promise to goodness, you will get a feedback note that says, bruh, what did you do to my song? You don't want to do that, okay? So as you guys can see, I went ahead and cleared the memory here, and the boost in 2K kind of went up a little bit because of the little fix that I have right here. Let's listen to it.
Why won't you pick up your phone? Told you to leave me alone. Please over, baby. What you need me? Oh, yeah. But you still be around by a thousand. But you have my back, and I count on you.
Now this is a really listen. This is a really good mix, bro. I ain't why all this house is such a good mix, because I mixed it, okay. And sometimes when it comes down to mixes, man, you don't have to necessarily do everything that you need to do in order to fix it. If it already is good, if it's not broken, don't fix it. All right, we boosted a little bit of frequencies right here in the mid range and in the high frequency range, right? But it doesn't sound, I think if there was anything that I wanted to do, and let's look at it, right? I said the smiley face, which means that you see this kind of boost right here towards the low end. It's there already, right? And we already have a balanced mix, and I kind of boosted the higher frequencies a little bit. Now, I don't have this plugin yet. I want to get it, but it's called the Clariphonic Mastering or EQ. I don't have it yet, but I want to get it. But if I wanted to do anything with this in terms of EQ, bro, let's see here. If I wanted to do anything with this in terms of EQ, I would probably add a little bit on the high end. Here we go, the Pro Q2, okay? Let's grab this and let's listen to it.
Would you? Maybe stick around much later. Maybe stick around much later. When the party's over, can I count on?
Maybe something like that, like a little high shelf or something, but nothing too. The subtle differences are important. That's key. I'm telling you guys, you don't have to go crazy. If it sounds good, it is good. Don't go crazy on it, okay? Now, I'm going to teach you guys one more thing before I get up out of here, okay? Now, when it comes down to frequencies, right? You can't hear nothing past 30 past the 30 hertz range, okay? As a human, you don't hear anything, right? So, it's very, very important that you knock this off. Very important that you knock this off. Let's do right here. Very important that you knock this off. Why? Because there's this rumble and this low, whatever that is. I don't even know what sound that was. But there's this low rumble in the lower frequency range, and I guess you can get a better representation of what that is if you have a subwoofer, right? But there's a represent there the lower end when it comes down to the 30 hertz, 15 hertz range. The human ear can't necessarily pick that up. However, okay, there's artifacts that affect everything that happens within the 35 hertz, 40 hertz, 50 hertz range that can ultimately affect the overall master. Okay, so make sure that you scoop all that out. Always scoop all of that out. Okay, because there's artifacts in there that will affect everything else that the low end is doing. And you don't want that, so scoop that out.
Would you have my back? Can I count on you? Would you? Maybe it's around much later.
So, and that's pretty much it. Now, you saw what I did right there. You can't even really hear much of the change and the difference. And the reason why is because the ears can't hear it, bro. We human. Like, we can't hear every single frequency range on the frequency response curves. I wish we did, but we can't. You feel me? So that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to go over. This is low key in depth. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put like an in depth in the parentheses of the title because I just learned y'all something today, bro. I literally just learned y'all something today, fam. So make sure y'all share this with your friends. Please subscribe if this is your first time seeing me on this channel, man. And I'll be giving y'all so many gems. I'm learning so many necessary things when it comes down to this mastering. So I'm gonna be sure to show you guys what I learned so that you guys can become better audio engineers in the long run, man. So I love y'all, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video, fam. Gang.